My name is Atma, and this is a brief introduction to my teaching and to myself. The purpose of my teaching is to help you to discover and actualize your innate state of freedom and to grow into peace, joy, and meaning in your life. I know it is very possible for the simple reason that you are already that destination. You don't need to manifest it or even reach it. You just need to unravel it, discover it. The teaching is providing exactly the tools to do that. To give a bit of a context, I'll share a bit my personal story. At the age of 20, I was quite a painful condition. I was having very strong anxiety attacks for several years that were haunting me and basically setting the perimeter of my life. And even aside from that, my life was somewhere between mediocre and painful. I was living entirely through the mind, as every person do. In that condition, I went to India at the age of 20, not knowing exactly what I'm going to find there, but knowing that I have to find something to change. Couldn't continue that way. There I joined my first spiritual event, my first meditation retreat in Vipassana, 10 days silent. I was truly dreading joining it. I really thought there was a good chance I'll lose my mind there, but I still had to do it. I didn't lose my mind in the retreat, but I did see clearly how much the mind controls me. But I also gained from it a clear direction. I understood that the solution to my life has to be found inside. There's nothing external, no circumstances can rescue me from this pain. I then started to dedicate my life to meditation, not to Vipassana, to another teaching I discovered, which were more systematic and profound and resonating with me. After 2 years of a very dedicated practice, many retreats and many daily meditation sessions, I was in a better place. I was already knowing myself more further from the mind, and I already had quite a good grip on in meditation, but I was still living through the mind. And of course, when anxiety came, I had nothing to do against it. It was like a bus going over me. But then something happened that changed everything. Between 2 retreats in Goa, a friend came to my room. Her eyes were beaming, and she says to me, "Beloved, all is well." And I say, "Yeah, of course, I know all is well." I didn't know all is well. What I knew was all is fine, relatively. Things are heading in a better direction. So great, I guess it's nothing to complain about. And she said, "No, you don't know. All is well." This time, I really got it. There's a profound coin dropped in me. I didn't know it was waiting to be dropped. What happened in that moment was very simple, and yet it changed everything. It's a complete awakening, liberation occurred from that event. What I realized in that moment was that all my life I was holding like a little screen in front of my eyes, which had an embedded changing sentence. That's how I saw life, through that filter. I thought that's how people live. I didn't know I have it. In that moment, I removed it. And what I discovered was again so simple and yet so earth-shatteringly transformative and liberating. I discovered that I live in an entirely silent reality. There is no soundtrack to my reality. That sentence that was playing all my life, I realized it's redundant. It has nothing to do with actual life. And I saw clearly that any form of suffering I have or had is coming from that screen. It's coming from me believing that that screen should mediate between me and life. It's coming from me holding it. Nobody's holding it for me. Nobody's forcing it. It's only me here. And when I dropped it, I realized indeed, in a literal and profound way, that yes, all is well. All is well because all is silent. I was in a complete bliss. it was such a there's nothing really extraordinary in a way in that realization, and yet it's heaven itself. The next evening, I was walking on the beach and was finding myself in a dark and secluded beach, which was a perfect environment for my anxiety attacks to come. And indeed, I felt an anxiety attack entering my system. I was thinking to myself, this was all fun and games until this thing comes along. This tyrant, this force which I had nothing to do until that point. But, as you understand, what happened then was cementing that awakening. What I realized was very simple, that this anxiety attack, this powerful force, was just another sentence in that screen, a very painful one. But still, that is all what it is. Drop it, and it's quiet. And that was the end of years of tormenting anxieties. After that, I was in debate if I had only to continue meditating. And why should I meditate if everything is silent? I decided to continue to meditate, and indeed I meditated for over 25 years extremely dedicatedly, because I knew that meditation has a different quality to it. That state of freedom is the bread and butter, but meditation had like a depth to it, depth of absence. And I was under the impression that they will converge later on to give a more wholesome experience. After around 25 years of very dedicated meditation and exploration, which included surrender meditation and exploration of the heart and going through extensive therapeutic and healing processes, I realized that although those are all complementary components, they don't lead to the same place. That what I call state of freedom, which is the removal of that screen. I like to call it the foundation. That's just sanity, just to be well. Well is our natural condition. And from that point, there is what I like to call the flowering of the soul, where you express, you actualize the potential of the soul, which can be through absence in meditation, it could be through the gateway of the heart. You might find yours. I encourage you to find yours. The teaching I offer is based on those two components: the foundation, the state of freedom, the severance of the contract of belief with the mind, the most natural thing there is, but it needs to be done, and helping you discover what is it that you want to actualize on the deepest plane, and give you the tools for it, whether it will be things I myself experience, or maybe it's something that you yourself will discover. My teaching is a reflection of my living reality. It's not something I read or speak second-handedly. I share my reality and the tools I know can help create it. The reason I decided to start teaching, after quite many years of being already in the path and being in a state of well-being, was that I knew that it is indeed possible. I know many seekers who are deep in the path and are quite advanced, but they don't understand why, despite their awakening, despite their advanced state, they are still suffering. The reason is because that screen is still there, funnily enough. And also for people who just start their path. Maybe they didn't even start at all, just sampled it, but they have this longing. They know that there is something deeper to be found. The teaching is made to help these people, to help you if you are one of those people. I do believe it is very possible. The journey is about you. There's nothing else. It's about you discovering yourself and the reality which you live in, that lives inside you. What you discover is what you already have, and yet there is a journey to go through. It's kind of one of the many paradoxes of the path. It's an open secret, but you still need to discover it. And to do that, I do believe you need the help of a teacher, of someone who embodies the destination and can help you with conceptual clarity with practical tools and with energetic and in-person support on the way. Should not be should not be dependent on such a presence, but you would do very wisely to benefit from it, from the guidance and from personal proximity in the presence. This certain innate help that passes even from someone who is in the path. It's like it pervades the seeker, the open seeker. The teaching I offer is based on that in-person guidance, and the platforms it uses is one-on-one is an important aspect of it, whether it's online or personal meetings. And the heart of the practice is a time of retreats, which could be 7 days of silent retreat, could be more or less, depends, where you dedicate your time to the practice among other people and under my guidance, which includes the meeting in the hall and on a one-on-one basis. And there is the occasional meditation meetings or talks, which either happen online in live streams or physically. In terms of learning the teaching, which I recommend very much, the best source would be the book I wrote called All Is Well. By the time of making this video, it's not yet published, but very soon it will be published. And there is also an introductory complementary booklet I call the White Paper, which you can just read or download from the website. It gives a nice taste. You are most invited to contact me, to ask any questions you want about the practice, about the path. It will be my privilege and delight to help you to actualize what I know you can actualize.